Part 1, The Enigmatic Woods. The moon hung low in the velvety sky, its pale light casting long shadows that danced eerily among the gnarled trees. Jenna's heart raced as she realized she was standing alone in the heart of an unfamiliar forest. How had she ended up here? The last thing she remembered was driving home from work, but the details were hazy, like trying to remember a dream upon waking. Fear clung to her like a second skin, and the forest seemed to whisper secrets she couldn't decipher. The air was thick with a strange, unsettling stillness. The only sound was the faint rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Jenna's phone was dead, rendering her utterly isolated from the world beyond these oppressive woods. A shiver ran down her spine as she remembered the local legends, tales of spirits that haunted these woods, luring lost souls into their clutches. She hurriedly pushed those thoughts aside and began walking in what she hoped was the direction of civilization. Yet, the trees seemed to shift and move as if conspiring to keep her trapped. Part 2, Whispers of the Past. Hours turned into an eternity as Jenna wandered deeper into the labyrinthine woods. The path she was following led her in circles, the trees playing tricks on her sense of direction. Panic gnawed at her, and she stumbled upon an old, decrepit cabin hidden among the trees. It seemed to emerge from the darkness like a nightmare brought to life. Reluctantly, Jenna approached the cabin, the creaking floorboards and the musty smell of decay enveloping her senses. She had no choice but to enter, praying that she might find a way out of this nightmare. The cabin's interior was frozen in time, covered in a thick layer of dust. Jenna's steps echoed ominously as she ventured further inside, guided only by the faint moonlight filtering through cracked windows. A portrait on the wall caught her attention, a family frozen in an unsettling tableau. Their eyes seemed to follow Jenna's every move, and she could feel the weight of their gaze upon her. As she looked closer, a shiver coursed through her. The faces in the portrait bore an uncanny resemblance to her own, as if they were long-lost relatives. A journal lay open on a dusty table, its pages filled with the ramblings of someone who had lost their sanity. The words spoke of an otherworldly force that had trapped them in the woods, feeding on their fear and confusion. Jenna's hands trembled as she read, her mind racing to comprehend the horror that had befallen this place. Part 3, Echoes of Fear. Days turned into a nightmarish blur as Jenna struggled to survive within the cabin's claustrophobic confines. Every attempt to escape only led her back to the same place, as if the forest itself had consumed her. She could feel the eyes of the portrait upon her, their accusing gazes accusing her of trespassing on their torment. As the days passed, Jenna's grip on reality began to slip. She could hear whispers in the wind, voices that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the cabin. The voices spoke of ancient rituals and forgotten sacrifices, of a darkness that hungered for souls to feed upon. Jenna's nights were plagued by horrifying visions, her dreams merging with the cabin's twisted history. One night, as the moon hung low in the sky, Jenna awoke to find herself standing outside the cabin. Her body moved against her will, her feet carrying her deeper into the woods. The trees twisted and contorted, their branches forming grotesque shapes that seemed to beckon her forward. Jenna fought against the invisible force that controlled her, but it was as if the forest itself had claimed her. Part 4, Unveiling the Truth. In the heart of the forest, Jenna stumbled upon an ancient stone altar bathed in an eerie blue light. The air was thick with an oppressive energy, and the whispers grew louder, urging her to embrace her fate. As she approached the altar, memories flooded her mind, memories that weren't hers. She saw herself as a part of the family from the portrait, performing rituals to appease the malevolent force that held them captive. Jenna's realization was like a lightning bolt to her psyche. She was a part of this cursed legacy, bound to the woods and the darkness that dwelled within. The voices grew stronger, their grip on her mind unrelenting. But deep within her, a spark of defiance ignited. With every ounce of strength left in her, Jenna broke free from the altar's pull. The woods erupted into chaos, the trees thrashing as if angered by her defiance. The ground trembled beneath her feet, and the whispers turned into anguished screams. It was a battle of wills, a battle for her soul. Part 5, Breaking the Curse. Jenna stumbled and fell, her body battered by the relentless onslaught of the forest's fury. But as she lay on the forest floor, battered and broken, she heard a different voice, a voice that was neither a whisper nor a scream. It was a voice of love, of protection, and it whispered ancient words of power. Gathering the remnants of her strength, Jenna recited the words, her voice trembling but unwavering. The forest recoiled, its darkness retreating as if burned by the light of her newfound resolve. The malevolent force that had bound her family for generations wailed in agony, its grip weakening with every word Jenna spoke. And then, in a blinding flash of light, the woods fell silent. The moon's pale glow no longer held the sinister touch it once did. Jenna stood among the trees, her breath ragged, the weight of the curse finally lifted. Epilogue, emerging from the shadows. Jenna emerged from the woods, her body battered but her spirit unbroken. The world outside had moved on, ignorant of the horrors she had faced. She had broken the cycle, severed the ties that had bound her family to the cursed woods. Though scars remained, both physical and emotional, Jenna knew she was free. The woods that had once held her captive were now just trees, and the moon that had cast its eerie glow was now just a celestial companion. She carried the echoes of her harrowing journey, a testament to her strength and resilience. The enshrouded woods were forever changed, their malevolent heart silenced. But the memory of those whispers, the echoes of fear and defiance, lingered in Jenna's mind, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, the light of the human spirit could still prevail.